And well, okay, maybe that's working now. How about now, dog? Working? Hey, there we go. Okay, that was weird. It said it was listed as the correct microphone, but I had to change it to the actual microphone instead of the default. I don't know. Haven't had that happen before. Okay. Well, interesting interesting start to the show. Hopefully anyone that watches sticks around and enjoys. So, kind of a shit show today, guys. We were supposed to get some. Is this the one I'm looking for? Yeah, there we go. We were supposed to get some cool information today, and we got jack shit. Really, I'll tell you that back. We got some stuff, not a lot. First, I want to say, hey, Star Wars Dog, how you doing? Thanks for being here, man. I'm sure there's a bunch of lurkers, guys. Thank you for being here. Put in the chat. Let's chat about all this. How's everyone feeling about this? Wild mix of shit to talk about today. Just kind of not a bad week for the Trump admin, but lots of fumbles. Some dumb Hollywood decisions, let's call it, and a tiny little cool retro video game thing. Yeah, well, maybe I'll stop saying a lot. Oh, hang on. There is one thing I need to do real quick. I have to log in to something and pull a video up so that it will play while I'm doing this, because I have shit that has to get done before basically 5 p.m. tomorrow. So if y'all will talk about it yourselves, come on, chat. Let's get the conversation going. We've got some shit to do. View, play next. Oh God. Okay, we mute you. Okay, Breezy, what's up, man? What are we talking about? Nah, stop that, Breezy. No, I've got 4 more hours of continuing legal education classes to take, and luckily I don't really need to pay attention to it, but I do need the video going so that when it pops up the "Hey, are you still there?" I can click it and get the credit. Okay, fuck it. Let's dive into this, guys. So this Epstein release. Actually, real quick, Jim, do you want to come on and chat about this? I have a feeling you're pretty interested in this. I'm gonna drop you the link. If you don't, you don't have to, but I just want to give you that option. Star Wars dog. There he is. I think that worked. That worked? Yeah, that worked. Again, you don't have to. We're gonna crank me up a little bit. 119. Hopefully that's a little bit better, guys. Let's bring the chat back up. I'm also trying to learn Restream while I'm doing all this. So a little bit of a guinea pig tonight, guys. So Bondi. So yeah, yesterday, we all know that Kash Patel and Trump and kind of Pam Bondi all basically said day one, everything's coming out. We are letting the horse out of the bag. Everyone's going to learn everything. This is what we're doing day one. And obviously, we are now 37 days in, and that did not happen. Well, there's a couple of people to blame here. First off, you got to blame the Senate Democrats. The Senate Democrats did basically everything they possibly could to keep Kash Patel from getting confirmed. The amount of backstabbing, the amount of delays, the amount of woe be unto me's that they did is crazy. So I'm not totally surprised about that. Like I figured that shit was gonna happen. And let's be honest, guys, if anyone really thought day one we were getting those stuff, come on, guys. Y'all haven't been paying attention. Let's see what else is there. So Bondi comes out the other day. Well, actually, we got to start with the House. We've got that rep in the House. What is her name? House rep on what's it called? Let's go. Let's just try it. House rep on Epstein. Anna Paulina Luna. Blast the DOJ, said that y'all aren't doing what you say you would do. Where are the documents? We need to review them because she's, I believe, the chairman, or I guess technically chairwoman, of the House Committee on something. Let's see if this Fox article tells us. The House Oversight Committee's task force on the declassification of federal secrets. So she sent a letter to the DOJ on the 11th and the 19th. And then she kind of blasted them the other day, basically saying, hey, I've sent letters and I haven't heard back. And then I think on Tuesday, or maybe Monday, we saw that letter from Deputy U.S. Attorney General, I forget his name, basically saying, thank you very much. We'll get back to you. Like it was at the very best a form letter. And in my opinion, a real bad way of going about that. Like it should have been an actual. I'll tell you what it reminded me of. It reminded me of any time someone goes before Congress and goes, Congressman, to my I have no recollection of that fact. And it's just complete nothingness. It's a nothing burger. It means nothing. So big fumble there. But the House, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't really give a shit what the House subcommittee on federal secrets does. The DOJ sits in the executive branch. The DOJ, the FBI, they are the ones doing this. The Congress can say everything they want, but they have no oversight over this. The only oversight over this is given to them by Donald Trump, basically asking for the creation of the subcommittee. Should the DOJ and the FBI had actually, given them stuff and said, here, review, and then let's release? Absolutely. The president, the executive said, this is what I want to do. And they've kind of said, thanks, but no thanks. But again, okay, like they can. It's their stuff to release. So I don't really care about that. What I care about though is the fact that let's talk about how my guess is he isn't coming on. That's all good. Let's talk about how basically what was given out. So the cool thing is that just before I went live, the DOJ actually uploaded everything to their no, that's not what I want. To their website. And of course, it's sort of a big old nothing burger. I mean, it is still documents that I think some of us have actually already seen. If I recall correctly, a lot of the flight logs had already been released, and we'd already seen a lot of stuff from what's her name's trial, Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say her name. But there is some other stuff that where is this? Let me pull up Twitter because I saved it on Twitter. hell is going on with my internet? We are running super slow today. Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can share this. I should be able to. Here we go. Office of Public Affairs. So this is a letter, or I guess this is news from the DOJ. Today, Attorney General Pamela Bondi, in conjunction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, declassified and publicly released files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his sexual exploitation of over 250 underage girls at his homes in New York and Florida, among other locations. Thanks, Crimson. The first phase of declassified files largely contains documents that have been previously leaked but never released in a formal capacity by the U.S. government. So again, we've seen a lot of these things already, but okay, that's cool. I like to see that. But like they just said, the government had never said, here you go. Obviously, we were all hoping for, more over smoking guns type thing. But what I liked was, I'm assuming this is it. Here we go. And this is kind of, let's call it the smoking gun for this round. Zoom in. Wow, it's taking forever to zoom in. There we go. Dear Director Patel, before you came into office, I requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. In response to those requests, I received approximately 200 pages of documents, which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and a list of victims' names and phone numbers. Now, what she's saying here is, and I don't mean to sound like, I'm preaching here, but what she's saying here is that this request was prior to Patel's confirmation. And it's almost like her basically letting everyone know, hey, this is not on Patel. This is not Cash's fault. I repeatedly questioned whether, and again, so last night, Pam Bondi goes on Jesse Waters' show and says basically a whole bunch of stuff is getting released tomorrow, and it's sickening. Over 250 victims. This stuff is disgusting, and kind of states that it's all of it. She kind of makes it sound like everything's getting released. And then we see this letter come out last night where she tells Director Patel, hey, I wasn't given everything, but I know it's not your fault. So we go further in. I repeatedly questions responsive to my request. It was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source. So this is late Wednesday. Yeah. So this would probably be after the cabinet meeting. Late Wednesday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn of this new information. Again, she's trying to make sure that Cash does not get the blame for this. I like it. I think it's a fair thing, especially when you've got people trying to claim that there's infighting in this administration. You've got people saying that Elon and what's the name of the Vivek Ramaswamy hate each other now. You got people claiming that Donald Trump has given up all of his power to Elon. You got people saying that Cash and Elon are fighting because Cash sent an email saying, you don't answer to Elon, you answer to me. We will do all hirings and firings. It's been very clear that at FBI and at everyone was not supposed to be the list of the emails. Every department wasn't supposed to get that email. Clear, someone messed up. It's been pretty clear, especially in that cabinet meeting when Elon talks about it. So, and again, Elon sat there and was like, yeah, no, didn't work like I wanted it to. Sorry. I really enjoy it. He was like, look, we're going to make mistakes. I made a mistake. It's going to happen. he was talking about the Ebola thing. One of the things that they canceled was funding for this Ebola thing that basically, to my very small understanding of it, is what keeps Ebola in the Congo in check. And he was like, look, this is not something that we wanted to claw back. It accidentally got clawed back. We released it. Everything's fine. So those kind of things are going to happen, especially when you're basically just being the first people to actually deep dive this shit. And then she goes into her demand by 8 a.m. tomorrow, being in 12 hours and 8 minutes. February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio, and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. There will be no withholdings or limitations to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of victims and in accordance with law, as I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. I am also directing you, and I like this one, I am also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver to me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personal action within 14 days. Putting a clock on him. I like it. And I appreciate your immediate action to this important matter. I know that we both committed to transparency for the American people, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to serve our president and our country. So and look, here's the deal. Right now, when we see this letter, we're like, okay, we know we're not getting everything. So we know that people in the FBI prior to this administration, the deep state, let's call them, are still fighting against this. So we don't blame you. Like I don't blame Kash Patel and I don't blame Pam Bondi for this taking a while. I'll pull the documents up. It is a lot of documents. Things like this take time. I've done discovery before. It is a bitch and a half to deal with. And it was a simple divorce. It wasn't the largest what's a good YouTube word? PDF file ring in the history of America. Like it was, and the shit is a bitch to go through. So I get it. I think like I said at the beginning, I think if anyone thought this was going to be a day one thing, I think you were fooling yourself. And I think that was a mistake, guys. Let's look at some of these documents. So we get an evidence list. This is what I understand to be the list of evidence for Giselle Maxwell's or Maxine's trial. Let's super zoom in on this. Cell phones. I think, unless you misspelled cellophane. What's a cellophane? Did they misspell that? I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Red rope. It's a little creepy. This is Knights. One CD labeled Girl Pics. I'm not going to read everything. What's up, Brisket? How you doing, bud? Oh, you know what I should do? Hang on one second. Let's be super grifty here. Yeah, I mean, I know what it is, Crimson, but I guess what this is sort of packet, that cellophane containing the DVD. Also follow me on Kick at. Hang on. There we go. Pin message. Yes. Pilgrim. Some stuff did get released. Now, a lot, like I said at the beginning, a lot of the stuff had already been leaked, but this is the first time it's actually been released by the federal government. So we got a gross CD, VHS tapes, cassette tapes, 4 micro cassette tapes, 4 CDs, 2 banker boxes containing various Epstein-related case material. So all of this is the evidence list of Giselle Maxwell's trial. So let's see, blueprints, an HP server with 2 terabytes. Let's see. Notepads, that's nice. 64 gig iPad. 2 other iPads. It's a lot of fucking documents and digital shit on there. So yes, Pilgrim, there are names. So here's the thing. So if we look at the flight logs, so this is the is this the full one or is this? Hang on. What's this is? How many pages is this? So this is 20 pages going to 1993. Okay. So here's the entire flight log. There are names. Now, I want to preference this. Okay. Just because there's a name on this flight log list does not mean that person committed a crime. Okay. There are a lot of reasons to end up on a flight log for anybody's plane. You can do these people swap their planes all the time. They'll call up their buddy and they'll say, "Hey, I'm in Dubai. My jet's in England. Hey, can I hop a ride on your jet?" And they'll do it. You end up on the flight log. So that itself isn't, a proof of any crime being committed. But what I would figure is if you were on here a lot, you probably knew something. The one that kind of I'm not sure it necessarily surprises me, but I was disappointed to see, and I think I already knew about it as well, was Alan Dershowitz, who is a really big attorney. And he was actually Trump's attorney for his, I think, second impeachment. Obviously, you've got a whole bunch of initials. GE, I assume, is Jeffrey Epstein. And blacked out things on these are supposed to be victims. So the initials, this should be a victim. How do we know it is? Well, that's one of the things you're just going to have to trust them. There are rules of evidence. This trial actually happened. The attorneys for both sides actually already met. They had their evidence conversations. They went through the entire thing with a judge. And so everyone, those 3 or 4 people, they know what's underneath these black marks. And they've all agreed those are victims. So it is safe to assume that they're most likely telling the truth. It's the same thing with this masseuse list. These are most likely victims. That's why it says redacted to protect potential victim information. That's why they're all redacted because they're victims. Now, the second someone comes forth with evidence that says, let's say number 7 says Jane Doe. The second someone comes forward with evidence that says number 7, Jane Doe, knew what was happening and she participated in it and was not coerced, then she's not a victim, and they'll likely remove the redaction. But what a lot of people are freaking out about is this contact book, and a lot of people are angry over all of this redaction. And I think what's funny is no one's really taking the time to. Oh, did I lose anybody there for a second? Something pop up that said connection lost for a second, and now it's back. Yeah. Oh well. I'm gonna assume that everything's still working. What was I saying? Yeah. So I don't think people have really taken the time to read that the redaction for most of these is for personal contact information. So theoretically, what this says is Christopher and Amanda Brooks, and then probably has a phone number, an email address, and a physical address. This one says Jean-Luc Brunel. It's probably multiple home addresses. That's why there's all these redactions. This is crazy. Jimmy and Jane Buffett. But again, being in the contact list doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. It just means he knew you or he added your contact information. Now, I mean, I'm sure Clinton. Y'all think he's in the list? I mean, in it under Clinton, or do you think he's in it under president? I don't see a Clinton. I did see a president in here. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. He's got a princess in here. Yeah, Pilgrim. So I think what we're gonna see, I think the smoking gun is those. Let's see. Again, guys, I'm basically learning Restream while I do this. So that'll work. The smoking gun is going to be those 2,000 plus documents that the New York FBI office hid. I think what we're likely to see is we're going to see some sort of show. Let's call it a show of force tomorrow morning. I think we'll see the DOJ or the FBI will call a press conference, or they'll call reporters, and they'll make sure people are streaming this, and they'll show like giving the documents to the DOJ or pulling up to the front of the DOJ building in DC with the documents. I think they're going to want people to know that they are taking this seriously, or at least Cash is going to want people to know that. So, or how do you say the other guy, the new deputy director, Bogino? Is that how you say his last name? These people know what gets people talking, and they know how the internet works in a way that Trump has no idea, in a way that Pam Bondi, in a way that politicians just have zero idea. So I think what we'll see is a decent showing of handing documents over, and then we'll see in the coming weeks, probably. I don't think it's going to take months, but in the coming weeks, we'll start seeing either a trickle out of documents. We'll either get Pam Bondi probably announces maybe week by week. We've gone through and redacted the victim information from another 150 pages. We're releasing that Friday at 12. Or maybe it's just you know what? we've got 2,732 pages of stuff. We're going to go through it all. You're going to get it all in one big drop. And then, which honestly, I think the better thing to do would be to release it all in one big drop. I don't like the idea of anyone getting, okay, this is the bad. No, let's not do that one. I don't like the idea of anyone feeling like they've gotten enough. So what I don't want to see is the powers that be go, okay, you've released 378 names, all their crimes, misdemeanors, and the public's kind of tired of finding out that their neighbor was involved in this. So we're going to stop. We're going to stop doing this. I don't want to see that. I want everything to come to light. But they need to tell us what they're doing. I don't know if it needs to be a weekly press conference. I don't know if it needs to be, Pam Bondi gets up there and tweets a couple times a week and tells us, here's the full count. Here's where we are. We've gone through this many documents, but we need some, this doesn't need to be George R. Martin saying, I've done another 500 pages. Let's see if it works. It needs to be some active transparency. Now, let's talk about the travesty of what we saw today. So every single person involved in the release of these documents knew this wasn't enough. They knew that people were going to be upset by this, and they knew that we had already seen most of this information. So instead of going, mea culpa, guys, instead of saying, here's the facts, we're sorry, we'll release what we can, but we were lied to, and we didn't know. So now we know, and now we're going to try to fix it. Here's what we got so far. We'll get back to you. Instead of doing that, what they did was invite. Everyone's already seen these tweets. Everyone's already seen the pictures. They invited, 5 or 6 of these conservative influencers over that have been super big on Trump, that get on Twitter and, they make, $350 a tweet and go on YouTube and make live streams. They make thousands of dollars of super chats and ad revenue. And they get these binders. Y'all remember when Mitt Romney ran for president? It is highly believed among the people that study running for president that the thing that sunk Mitt Romney's campaign was his "I have binders full of women" comment. And if I remember correctly, it was basically saying that, it was someone accused him of hating women. He was like, I don't hate women. I have binders full of women that work for me, or something like that. And it is pretty much agreed that sunk his campaign. What's up, KC? And so what you've got are these conservative influencers that, theoretically, in order to be an influencer, you have to have people that follow you. You have to be, a big name. You have to have, a following. So you've got these people that have followings that you would assume mostly voted for Trump, and they come out of there with this binder full of victims and evil people, and they are, like Risket said, grinning like they won a fucking trophy. Like, that disgusts me. First off, you've got evil in your hands and acting as if you oh, look what I get to do. It's the same thing that we made fun of Harry Stinson for, or Harry. Excuse me. It's the same thing that we made fun of. Who was this boy? Let's see. My first day working for Jen. What was Jen Paskey? I was kind of close. Saki. What is this weirdo's name? Y'all remember the like gay guy with the fake nails and shit? I don't want that shit on my feed. Harry Sissy, I like that. So it's the same shit. We made fun of the other side for 4 years doing this, and now we're doing it. It's dumb. It's ludicrous. It's not what I voted for. It's not what almost anybody voted for. 77 million people voted for transparency and honesty. Yes, risk it. And at best, you were kind of transparent, but you weren't honest. And what you should have done is Pam Bondi should have held a press conference yesterday. No, not that one, Breezy. I'm gonna have to find someone. If someone can find, I think you know which one I'm talking about. Risk it. If you can find it, shoot it to me in DMs, and I'll let you know if that's it. I hate getting off track because I always forget what I was saying. Making fun of the other side. Fuck it. Sitting there doing the same shit that they did. We are better than that. There are certain things that, yeah, maybe we should get down and dirty and do like they do. That's not one of them. So I'm disgusted by that. I think Pam Bondi, that's where I was. I think Pam Bondi should have held a press conference yesterday. She should have said, this is what happened. The FBI New York office lied to me. I did not know. I apologize. Y'all trusted me, and I let you down. I am sorry. It will not happen again. And she should have turned around and walked out. That's what should have happened. Maybe throw something in there with, I have ordered Director Patel to investigate. He has 14 days to present me with options of punishment, and we will go from there. You will have documents tomorrow around 2:00. That's it. That's what should have been done. But again, instead of that, we get this bullshit. Oh, risky. Is that it? Let's see. I don't think I want to look this up. Yes, this. Well, that's getting trashed, you weirdo. Okay, so this is the person I was talking about. Is this how we do it? I don't want to maximize it. There we go. This, I'm not going to play it all because holy crap.
Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
I can't watch that. Oh my God, that's terrible. Because let's be honest, Jay, it was weird for you to say that. Because I ain't saying that full name out loud. Exactly, KC. What the heck is even that? That's what I need. I need that clip. There's a bunch of stuff. I got to upload a whole bunch of stuff here to restream. I still don't know how to like put a clip in to actually play it. So I've still got a lot to learn this upcoming week. Make this better for next week. Yes. I'm not torturing y'all. Risk it. Okay, we're gonna. I like to just kind of summarize this. And guys, I'd love to hear more about what y'all think about this. The Trump administration had an option for kind of an easy home run, or at least an easy double. They could have been completely honest with us. They could have been transparent. They've done a pretty good job so far. There's a couple things that I've been a little disappointed about. I think, sometimes I do think that Elon kind of needs to be reined in a little bit. Not with like Doge and stuff, but just it does come across that he is speaking for the president, and that's not what it's supposed to be. So there have been a couple of things, but it's still far and below the disappointment I had for the Biden administration. So we are still way ahead of the game. So we're going to pivot out of this disgusting topic. Good. Okay, so Reacher season 3 started last week on Thursday. The fourth episode came out today. Day 1, they dropped 3 episodes, and I gotta say, a little disappointing. So I do think that this season I think has been the weaker of the 3 so far. There's nothing that's really like grabbed me. I do enjoy, and again, guys, there's going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, mute me. Don't exit because you want to come back, but mute me. So I was a little disappointed that there's nothing that's really been like, oh my God, we got to watch this. I do like this relationship between Reacher and the kid in the show. It's Anthony Michael Hall. This is the name, right? Anthony Michael Hall. Yeah, Anthony Michael Hall. The relationship forming between Reacher and the kid is kind of nice. We get to see kind of a softer side of Reacher while also seeing, the hard exterior, whatever the fuck that means. One of the things that I wrote down, I was going to do videos on this, and I'm probably still going to, but I just haven't done it yet. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this was when the first season came out. It came out in, I think, September, and ended probably about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And I think the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, they wrote an article that I think summed it up perfectly. It said, do you want to reconnect with your father? Watch Reacher. And what they were saying is, your dad is probably watching this show called Reacher. If you want to have something to talk to him about over Thanksgiving and Christmas, you should watch the show. And what that's kind of telling me is that the main audience for Reacher is my father. I think, I don't even remember how old my dad. I think my dad is like 56. So he grew up watching Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Patrick and half a dozen of the other guys that have been in and out of the show. And I think they've done a really good job of knowing who their target audience is and casting people in roles to get those men to go, hey, I remember watching him when I was 15, which is basically the thought I had when I saw Anthony Michael Hall. Now, I wasn't 15 when I first saw something he was in, but it's still kind of that little bit of that nostalgia that kind of gets you, wanting to watch more. Now, again, like I said, there hasn't really been anything that grabbed me in the show so far. I think it's been the weaker start of the 3 seasons. But I don't know. I do like being back in this solo Reacher thing. I wasn't a huge fan of dropping the team season so early in the lifetime of the show. I think they should have done this in season 2 and then the team in season 3, but I'm not in charge at Amazon. Has anybody watched it so far? Riska, I know you said you haven't. What about you, Breezy or KC or Mash or Crimson or Pilgrim or Star Wars Dog? Risket said, nostalgia bait is so worn out. Just pick up what caused the origin of the nostalgia. So I agree. Totally agree. The thing that I would push back on a little bit is I think it's worn out when it's more like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this? But when you can connect my nostalgia by just an actor, I think it's different. I think when you're able to connect with the audience by just casting certain people, I think that's a bit different than member berries, basically. Jeez, guys. Mash says he needs to start season 2. So, I mean, well, and I'll tell you the other thing that's nice is, for the most part, none of the stories, you can watch almost any of the stories in any order. Now, I definitely would recommend, you watch season 1 first, because that's the season that basically tells you who Reacher is. But this kind of surprises me. But there isn't anything that's like previously on Reacher season 2. It's funny. Usually there's supposed to be pop-ups in these videos that go, hey, you're still watching, right? But there hasn't been a single one yet. So this is nice. I don't have to really pay attention. Yeah, risk it. I mean, it's worn out from all the remaking of classic greatness into modern realism. 100%. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, it's not hitting like season 1 did. But I do like that classic Reacher is back. And again, it is nice to see him by himself and just beating the shit out of people. Like, again, it's kind of nice to get this let's say masculine hero back. I know Alan Richardson has said some real dumb shit, and he's another example of why the hell has the studio not taken his phone and said, hey, shut up? Like, Disney has destroyed any shot that Snow White had of making money by letting Rachel Zegler just talk. Amazon needs to be careful and make sure that Alan Richardson doesn't ruin that show. That they are just printing money with that show. They need to be careful and not let him ruin that show. If they were smart, they tell him, which I actually think someone called him, because after the last time that he kind of went off on Trump voters, I think like a day passed, and he was like, I just want to clarify where my comments were. I'm not saying that that anyone that did this or did that is necessarily a bad person. I just think that I disagree with them, and there's things that I find more important than other things, and I think we just disagree fundamentally. It was a lot different than just anger. Look at that. KC with 5 gifted memberships. Ariel. Oh, I do love this. I can see who got them on Restream. That's cool. But I'll tell you what I can't do. Well, maybe we can do it this way. We'll try this. Okay. So I did upload my goodbye video, but we'll play just a little bit of it for things like that until I figure out how to upload everything. Pilgrim says, well, Rachel took it all back and said it's just yes. So that's the other big thing. That's the other example of this like happening. So Zegler comes out and says, you know what? I don't have that, guys. Well, hang on. I might. Give me like half a second. So Zegler comes out and says that the hang on. Let me find what she actually said. I want to actually pull this up because I thought it was very interesting how she basically backed down from every single complaint she made. No. Where is this? Here we go. I don't know what comingsoon.net is. But that's what we're going to use. Here we go. Just for you, Casey. Oh, it's taking forever to upload. Well, it was holy crap. Analyzing, processing.
This is how legends are made.
Okay, I tried. I fucking tried.
This is how legends are made.
There we go. Okay. There you go, Casey. It was terrible. It barely worked, but there we go. Okay, yeah, so let's look at this. Comingsoon.net. Again, not really sure what this is. Let me make sure that it actually shows her. There we go. Let's go to Deadline. They cited Deadline in that article, so let's go to actually Deadline. Here we go. So Rachel Zegler said in a cover with Vogue Mexico, Star Wars Dog says, "There goes the monetization." Man, I don't mind. I don't think a single stream of mine, at least these streams, has made it more than like a week without getting demonetized. Let's see. I interpret people's feelings about this film as their passion for her, she told the magazine in Spanish. And what an honor to be a part of something for which people feel so much passion. We're not always going to have the same sentiments as those around us. And all that we can do is to give the best of ourselves. Okay, I want somebody to tell me that if this is what she had said a year and a half ago, that you would have been angry with that. Because I don't think anyone gets angry with this comment. I think this is a fair, level-headed comment. It reminds me of what the young girl from the Marvels said, that she had a lot of fun making the movie, but she understood that people didn't like it and she didn't blame them. Remember that? Remember how no one yelled about her? Everyone was like, she's actually pretty good in the movie. Like, she did everything she could do. KC Cheeto with a $2 USD super chat. The old-fashioned way. And yeah, good point there, Pilgrim. Deadline confirms KK isn't going anywhere. Like I said, or like I think anyone said. No, she's not going anywhere. Now, what I will say is there was some conversation that she hadn't sold her house. I'm not going to look it up now because it took me a while to find it, but I'm almost positive that the real estate listings actually do confirm she did. If you go to the California Register of Deeds, you actually can find that she did sell that house, or the house that she's got wherever Disney's headquarters is in California. She did sell that house. So, I mean, use that for what you want, but the doesn't really prove anything. But when people say, "Oh, she never sold it," they're just not telling the truth, and that pisses me off. What were we talking about? I don't want to watch. Sandler didn't touch on the initial wave of backlash in 21 following her casting announcement. Here we go. Spurred by right-wing fueled hate surrounding her Latinx. Haven't we fucking told you people stop with that shit? She's Latina. Latinx is not real. She's Polish. Let's see. How many people actually watched Little Mermaid? Come on now. As a black person, you just expect it, and it's not really shocking anymore, she said at the time of the initial. Oh, this is what Halle Berry said. Hal Berry said. So she came around in 22. It was D23 Expo. Which she called it dated. How Prince Charming literally stalks Snow White. It's very important for the audience to know that Disney has found this beautiful and this beautiful and delicate equilibrium between the 93 anime classic that everyone knows and loves, and at the same time presents it in this new generation. I'll say, look, guys, that trailer came out 4 months ago, and there was a little bit of like, kind of feels like the movie. Now again, it wasn't as good, and then when you kind of hear that what they actually are doing is removing the. She comes in and finds the house a mess, and it's like, oh my gosh, they must not have a mother. Let me clean up for them. To whatever they're doing, I forget what they're doing now, but they are literally taking away basically the important part of Snow White, in that she wanted to care for these dwarves as a mother, and that's very disappointing. I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna do well. I just saw something that said it's tracking for a $53 million opening, and I think they'll be lucky to make half of that. What's up, Shell? How you doing? Is X-Wing done playing KCD 2? I don't see him live anymore, so yeah, I guess he's done. I really hope he's enjoying that. I had a fucking blast playing that. So many of y'all watched me play that, and it was far and away one of the best video games I've ever played. So much fun. It looks great too. Let's see. What else are we talking about? I got an outline here somewhere. Oh, that's right. So, who remembers Shrek? So, Shrek 2 came out what? 2002, 2003, 2001. Sorry. This is my favorite little. We're gonna have a little bit of a Shrek factoid here. So Shrek was done by the same studio, DreamWorks, that did Prince of Egypt. And Prince of Egypt was the promised child. It was where everybody was working. Every single person that was important in that studio was working on Shrek. And it was incredible. And as Jay Bowen says, Shrek is love, Shrek is life. If you have not watched Shrek is Love, Shrek and Life, I highly suggest you Google it and watch it. It will change your life. Trust me. So this movie comes out, and it was where everyone that messed up or everyone that was being punished on at DreamWorks ended up working on. So if you did something bad working on Prince of Egypt, you are punished and you were sent to work on Shrek. And obviously we know what happened. Shrek ended up doing a lot better than Prince of Egypt did. It became basically a cultural icon, and they made 4 of them. Now, I don't think I saw 3, 4, or the 2 Puss in Boots movies, but I still love the first one. You know, the first one was instrumental to my childhood. It was an incredible movie. And when they announced that they were making another Shrek movie, I was, I think, understandably annoyed because I think it should have just been left alone. But then someone announced that it was going to be a reboot, which really pissed me off. But luckily, that got squashed real quick. But today we get more. News. Zendaya is gonna play the daughter from Shrek, or Shrek's daughter. Now, I don't know where we are in the Shrek family tree. I don't remember, I don't know if there was a daughter in Shrek 4. Looking at pictures here on the internet, it doesn't look like there was. But Shrek now has a daughter, and she will be voiced by Zendaya, of all people. Here is a new picture of, where are we going here? Is this it? Share screen. A new picture of Shrek. So as you can see, Shrek looks pretty much the same. I think he's a little bit wider in the face. The fuck is Fiona doing over here? What is this? This is not Princess Fiona, the fairest woman in all the land. Are you fucking kidding me? This looks like a fucking troll doll. And this is their daughter? Like, holy shit. What are we talking about here, guys? Pilgrim comes in and says they had a daughter and 2 sons in the third one. Well, that's good to know. Did not know that. Also, what the fuck's up with Eddie Murphy donkey over here? Like, what is this? Why did you reimagine everyone? You had all the stencils, you had all the drawings, you know what they look like, you've got videos. Just use that. But as if this wasn't bad enough, of course, Zendaya is in the movie. People, Hollywood, acting directors, casting agents, stop trying to make Zendaya a thing. Do you know how fucking annoyed we are with seeing the same 3 people cast in every movie? We don't give a shit about Pedro Pascal. We're not going to go to see a movie because of Pedro Pascal. We don't give a shit about Tom Holland. We're not going to go see a movie because of Tom Holland, and we don't give a shit about Zendaya. Everyone say it with me. We're not going to go see a movie because Zendaya is in it. Why did people go see Dune? As much as I hate to say it, it was because of Timothée Chalamet's acting. It wasn't fucking Zendaya that got people to go see that movie. It was because Villeneuve is the director. It's because the first one was incredible. It's because people won't shut the fuck up about those movies. That's why people went to see them. Not because fucking Zendaya is in it. Why did people go see Spider-Man? Because it's Spider-Man. It's not because Tom Holland was playing it. It's not because Little Pippi was playing him. It's because it was Spider-Man. That's why people went to see it. And don't get me started on Pedro Pascal. This is super annoying. People are not watching Euphoria. People are not watching Euphoria because of Zendaya. Would you like to know why people are watching Euphoria? Can I show this? I think I can show this. It's blurry as shit, so apologies. This is why people are watching Euphoria. Not because of the twig. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Tell me they watched Euphoria or that they went to watch Dune because of fucking Zendaya. I challenge you to find somebody. And I don't mean a fake grifting account on Twitter. She looks fucking retarded. You know what she looks like? She looks like they actually had 5 other kids, but she shook them too hard. She looks like she squeezed one of them too hard in a hug and killed one of them. That's what Fiona looks like. Shit, I might turn that into a short. That was funny. That was pretty fucking funny. Zendaya watching for Zendaya. Fuck you, risk it. Okay. Time to pivot. Cool little thing popped up today while I was waiting for this. We're getting a new Terminator game. And it's a side scroller. It's Terminator 2, Terminator 2D, No Fate. Let's look at this, guys. Again, if I can learn how to do this. Share screen, Terminator, share. Oh, there's the verification on my course. There we go. It just came an hour into the fucking thing. Here we go. Oh, shit. September 5th, 2025. I'll tell y'all what. I dig that. So I've sat here many times, and y'all have heard me many times say, why the fuck is every single game that we're getting a JRPG or a fucking side scroller or a fucking top down? I'm sick of it. It's bullshit. But you can do whatever the fuck you want when you make a cool Terminator game. I don't give a shit what style you make. I'll play a top down Terminator game as long as it's good. This has got the music. It's got the characters. It looks like it's going to have the scenes where you die, you're going to get that same classic scene. Yeah, I dig it. And now let's see. It does say only PlayStation down here, but that's just because this is the PlayStation announcement. My understanding, and I think I saw it somewhere. Let's check Twitter. God, it's annoying as hell sometimes, but y'all can't argue that Twitter is fucking great. From Bitmap Bureau Limited, the company making the game, I believe. PS5, PS4, no, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. What's up, Nitty? And I'm making fun. I'm hating on Zendaya because I don't think she's that great of an actress. I think she has gotten real lucky, and I think she checks the boxes for people, and it's annoying as shit. Like it bugs me when these casting agents and these and Hollywood in general try to force an actor or an actress on us. And it feels like that they're 100% doing that with fucking Zendaya, Pedro Pascal, Tom Holland. Like, again, why is Tom Holland in fucking the what's it called? The Odyssey movie. How old is Tom Holland right now? Tom Holland is 28 years old. He's a year younger than me. Tom Holland is 28 years old. Odysseus went to war for a decade. He likely would have taken men at least 18 years or older, meaning Tom Holland would be the oldest somebody would be in his retinue. And they've already said he's going to be, I think they've already said this. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But they've already said he's the lead, which means he's fucking Odysseus. Tom Holland can't be Odysseus. He's not old enough. So that's why I'm hating on these people, Nitty. Because they're cast without any actual thought into who they're casting. Well, I mean, Nitty, that's the nature of the beast in this. Is we're gonna do. I mean, it's gonna happen sooner or later. We were gonna disagree on something. Okay, Pilgrim, thank you. And actually, you saying that. So here's where I'll go into Zendaya one last time. I don't think Zendaya is a terrible actress. I do not think she is. I do not think she can play all of these roles that she is being offered. I think she did a decent job as playing Mary Jane. Obviously, she does a good job on Euphoria, but again, people aren't watching Euphoria because it's Zendaya. They're watching it because it's Sydney Sweeney. Let's be honest. And I think if she did, I think Denis Villeneuve is a sincere enough director that I think if she was a terrible actress, he would not have cast her. But again, she doesn't carry the movie. So I think she's fine in roles where she's not supposed to be the lead. But when you cast these actresses and actors and say, hey, look who it is, then you project them to be this important thing in this movie, and as if that's why people are lining up to see the movie or might line up to see the movie. And I think that does nothing but harm the chance your movie has. But again, just me. I think there was like one or two other things I want to talk about. Oh yes, okay, I did. Okay, so been a little while since we had an actual legal thing to talk about on here. So y'all saw that Trump has banned the Associated Press from the press room. So they're not allowed in is it a daily press or is it a weekly press? I think it's daily. They're not allowed in the daily press briefing, and they're not in the group that gets to go ask the president questions anymore until, at Trump's discretion, until they start referring to the Gulf of America as the Gulf of America. See what I did there? They sued. The Associated Press sued the Trump administration, saying that keeping them out was a violation of the First Amendment. And if I'm being honest, it's not a bad argument. I mean, when you've had certain access for a specific amount of time, it's a decent argument to say not giving us anymore is a violation of freedom of speech, especially when most news organizations cite you when they're writing an article. So it's a fair argument. But the Supreme Court disagreed with them in what I believe was a 6-3 decision. I couldn't find it, though. If anybody knows where it is, let's see. SCOTUS decision on AP versus Trump. I'm sure that's what it was called. This might be it. Nope, this was an immunity case in 2024. Okay, I can't find it. But they said that access to the president is not a constitutional right. They said that access to the press briefing room is not a First Amendment issue, that the White House has sole discretion on who is invited to it, which is what I believe has allowed the White House to feel like they can now control the press a little bit more. And when I say that, I don't mean they can sit there and say, no, CNN, only you can say, oh, Shell, I'll see you later. Have fun. I hope you have a good night. It's allowed Trump to basically come out and say, no, you know what? We're going to control who's in that room. There are people that don't deserve to be in that room. There are people that have taken this to this crazy privilege. Because think about it. Think about what a privilege it is to be able to ask the president and his representative to the press questions. So you've got, sorry, I'm starting another course real quick. Ooh. This one is called Proofs of Claim. Very fucking boring. Even more boring than real estate. It's not a right to have access to the president. You know, I don't get to go ask Donald Trump questions. I'm not important enough. So what? I don't care. You know, it'd be cool. But it's these people have taken this what do you call it? Privilege. These people have taken this privilege for granted. They've assumed that it's theirs by right, by birth, by the mere fact that they work for X company. They have have the right to demand access to the president. And that's just not the case. And I'm glad to see Trump and what's his press secretary's name? Caroline Levitt. I'm glad to see them standing up to these dumbasses in the legacy media telling us that they know what's best for us. When last 4 years and last 16 years have proven that they don't. You know, they might have had a moral high ground when they were breaking real stories, when they were investigating actual wrongdoing. But they've sat by and let too much evil happen to actually have any sort of moral superiority to us. And it really pisses me off when they try to claim that high ground. I mean, that's pretty much all I had for today, guys. Obviously, we missed having Aliens Conspiracy Rage Quit Gaming. We missed having Daimyo on. He had an important business drinking to go to. So I completely understand. I hope he had a lot of fun, and I hope he doesn't wake up hungover. Guys, thank you all so much. KC, thank you for the members. I hope everyone that got a membership, if you're watching, Llama Pajamas, Saska Sisters, Wriggle, Crash, all you guys, Ariel Black, if y'all are watching, post those well actuallys in the chat. Let's see them. What do you mean, well missed? I see. Well missed. Yeah, funny guy. Hope you all have a good night. I'll see everyone back here. Well, I hope to see everyone back here tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be playing, but we are going to be playing something. We might be doing what's it called? Lies of Pi? Lives of Pi? What's it called? Lies of P. We might be doing that. I haven't totally decided yet, but I've heard good things. So we're going to give it a try. Peace out, guys.